What kind of dream makes your own brothers want to erase you from the family? That's not a riddle. It's a real story. It happened to a young man named Joseph. This isn't just another ancient tale. This is a journey full of twists, jealousy, survival, and forgiveness. One dream, one coat. A world flipped upside down. Stick with us because what happened next might just change the way you think about setbacks. This is Story of Grace, where powerful stories come to life. If you're new here, don't forget to hit subscribe and stay connected for more unforgettable stories like this one. Joseph, the favorite son. How does one boy become the lightning rod for family chaos? Picture this, a house full of brothers and only one gets treated like royalty. That was Joseph. Not just another son, but Jacob's favorite, and everyone knew it. His special coat wasn't just clothing, it was a statement. Every thread screamed favoritism. To his brothers, it was a daily reminder that they came second. Joseph didn't help matters. He wore the coat like a crown. Maybe he didn't mean harm, but the pride showed. His brothers watched, and jealousy hardened into hate. They didn't just resent him, they wanted him out. The household wasn't quiet. It was a storm in slow motion. Every glance, every word had weight. When one child shines too brightly, others feel left in the dark. Joseph became more than a person. He became a symbol, and symbols are powerful. They can lift people up or tear families apart. Dreams that made things worse. Why would anyone brag about a dream that made them look like a king, especially when your family already resents you? That's what Joseph did. He started having bold, strange dreams, bundles of grain bowing down, stars showing him honor. These weren't bedtime stories, they were declarations, and Joseph didn't keep them to himself. He told everyone, like he couldn't wait to share. His brothers listened and boiled. It felt like arrogance, like Joseph saw himself as above them. Even Jacob was unsettled. But instead of stopping him, he just watched. Joseph kept dreaming, kept talking. Each word made things worse. His brothers weren't just annoyed, they were provoked. Imagine the dinner table. Eye rolls, heavy silence. Here we go again, someone would mutter. Joseph thought he was sharing something exciting, but to them, each dream was fuel for their anger. The tension hit a breaking point. The dreams didn't just stir jealousy, they lit a fuse. And the explosion was coming. The betrayal. What happens when frustration turns into a plot? It's one thing to be angry at a sibling. It's another to erase him. Joseph's brothers crossed that line. One day in the fields, they saw him coming. "Here comes the dreamer," they sneered. Not in admiration, in mockery. They grabbed him, tore off his special coat, and threw him into a dry pit. No water, no way out. Then they sat down to eat. While Joseph cried out from the hole, they ate like nothing happened. Soon, traders passed by. An idea hit. Sell him. Why kill him when they could profit? They sold him for silver, watched him be taken, bound and terrified. Then they covered his coat in goat's blood and brought it to Jacob. "Is this Joseph's?" Jacob broke, tore his clothes, wept with raw grief. The brothers said nothing. That walk home? Heavy with guilt. They thought they'd solved a problem, but they'd only begun something far bigger. And Joseph? His journey had just begun. Life in Egypt. How do you start over where no one knows your name? That's where Joseph found himself, alone, sold, stripped of everything familiar. But he didn't break. He was placed in Potiphar's house, a top official in Egypt. Even as a servant, Joseph stood out. Everything he touched prospered. Potiphar saw it. This wasn't luck. It was integrity, focus, and purpose. Joseph rose fast, managing the entire household. But power brought new problems. Potiphar's wife wanted him. She pursued him. Joseph refused, again and again, not just out of duty, but conviction. One day, she grabbed his cloak. He ran. She lied, claimed he attacked her. Joseph was thrown into prison, innocent, but condemned. From favorite to slave, from leader to prisoner. But Joseph wasn't finished. Egypt was watching. Quietly, his story was still moving forward. Not in palaces, but in shadows. The pieces were falling into place, even if no one saw it yet. Even in prison, Joseph shines. What kind of person rises in a place meant to break them? Joseph did. He didn't see prison as the end. He believed his story wasn't over. He worked hard, earned respect, and was put in charge. The jailer saw it. Joseph was different. Even in chains, he stayed focused. Then came two inmates, Pharaoh's cupbearer and baker. Both had troubling dreams. Joseph didn't seek attention. He just helped. He listened, prayed, and interpreted. One would live. One would die. Both dreams came true. Joseph asked the cupbearer, "Remember me?" But once released, he forgot. 2 long years passed. Silence. Still, Joseph hoped. Prison breaks most people, but for Joseph it became a place of preparation. Every act of service, every interpretation, it was groundwork for what came next. He didn't know when the door would open, but he trusted it would. And when it did, he'd be ready. The dream that changed everything. Can one dream open a prison and shape a nation's future? Pharaoh had dreams that disturbed him. Fat cows swallowed by thin ones, healthy grain devoured by withered stalks. No one could explain them. Then the cupbearer remembered. "There's a man in prison." Joseph was summoned, cleaned up, ready. Pharaoh asked if he could interpret dreams. Joseph replied, "Not me, but God can." He gave the meaning clearly. 7 years of abundance, followed by 7 of famine. A warning and a strategy. Pharaoh was amazed. Joseph wasn't just interpreting, he was leading. So Pharaoh made him second in command. Just like that, from prisoner to prime minister, Joseph now had the power to act. He organized, stored grain, prepared Egypt for the storm ahead. This wasn't luck. It was purpose unfolding. Egypt would survive the famine because Joseph understood what it meant to be unprepared. He had learned in silence, in pain, in waiting. Now, it was time to lead. The famine hits. What do you do when the people who betrayed you come asking for help? That's Joseph's moment. The famine hit hard. Egypt had food, Canaan didn't. Jacob sent his sons to buy grain. They came. Joseph saw them. They didn't recognize him. He stayed quiet, tested them, planted a silver cup in Benjamin's sack, accused them of theft. Judah offered himself instead. That's when Joseph broke. He wept, revealed himself. "I am Joseph." Silence, shock, fear, but Joseph forgave them. "You meant to harm me, but God used it for good." He could have punished them. He didn't. That's what made him different. Not power, not position. Mercy. Family reunited. Can wounds really heal after years of silence and pain? Joseph believed they could. He sent for his father, brought the whole family to Egypt. Pharaoh welcomed them, gave them land. They settled in Goshen, safe, provided for, together. Jacob and Joseph reunited. Years of sorrow turned into joy. The dream that once caused division now brought restoration. When Jacob died, Joseph honored him with a royal burial. The brothers feared Joseph might now take revenge, but he didn't. He spoke kindly, promised to provide, and he did. Joseph showed grace where others would have chosen revenge. That's what made him great. Not the dreams, not the title, but the heart he carried through it all. Even in reunion, Joseph led with humility. No grudges, just grace. And that choice changed everything, not just for his family, but for generations to come. Joseph's legacy. How does a dream outlive the dreamer? Joseph's story didn't end with his death. It echoed through generations. Before he died, he made one final request. "When you leave this land, take my bones with you." He still believed in the promise, still had faith that his people had a future beyond Egypt. Joseph died old, full of years, surrounded by family. But his legacy lived on, through every tribe, every leader, every promise that came after. He showed us that being faithful in small things prepares you for big ones. That even in betrayal, you can hold on to integrity. That dreams might not happen how or when we expect, but they're never wasted. Joseph's story teaches us that our hardest moments might be shaping us for something bigger than we can see right now. That faith, character, and courage will always make a way. If Joseph's journey moved you, imagine what more you can discover with us. Don't miss a single story that could inspire you, challenge you, or even change the way you see the world. Hit that like button, subscribe to Story of Grace, and share this with someone who needs to hear it today. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.